literally put in my earbuds, listen to my favorite podcast. And I have so many that I listen to. I have my, like how people have appointment television. I got appointment podcast, and I'll be like, y'all ain't put y'all new episode up yet. I'm trying to refresh. I'm like, where's the episode? Because I need this conversation that I don't have to talk through.
Right.
So I can listen and hear what's going on and take every emotion that I have in me. Because they say grief is nothing but love that has no place to go. And so for me, all the love that I have from my parents, I'm able to take that and pour it into the hummus. So when people ask me, what's in your hummus? Why does it taste so good? Somebody asked me one day, they came up, they're like, is that crack in your hummus? I'm like, it might be. I got jokes, but at the same time, like there's a lot of love that's put into the product. And I do a lot of farmers markets. I'm not in any retail stores yet, but I do a lot of farmers markets because I like the interactions with the customers.
Okay.
I like to give them the experience of trying a product, but also the same conversation that we just had. These are the kinds of conversations that I have with people. It's not just about the hummus. It's about being inspiring, being uplifting, speaking life into people. One of my favorite clients, I just saw him this morning at a market that I was at before I got back here to get on this call. He just got let go from his job. And I just spoke to him about a layoff situation that I had. And I was like, congratulations, because every door that closes, there's a bigger door that opens. Life is like a box. And sometimes something got to be taken out to be able to put something else in, or you got to rearrange that box. And so you never know what the blessing is. Like, I don't consider my mother's death a blessing, but I knew God had wanted me back in Chicago for a reason I did not know. I now know what my purpose is, to be back here in Chicago and for this to be the hub of my business.
Oh, that's so great. That's great. I'm really glad you said that because, excuse me, I was just looking. My wife and my grandson just came in.
Yay!
How many different flavors do you have or do you offer?
So we have about 9 to 10 different flavors. Hey, wife. Cute Coke girl.
That's the curly vegan. I'm the hip
All
hop
right.
vegan.
Okay, I love it. So we have our founding flavor, which is prosperity. That is our spinach jalapeno hummus. That is the flavor that started the company. Then we have our Chicago style, which is our #1 seller. It is a roasted garlic hummus with mild giardiniera on top. Giardiniera peppers. It's popular in Chicago. We put it on the Italian beef sandwich and the Italian sausage sandwich. I don't eat meat anymore. I stopped in 2020. Sometimes I have fish, but for the most part, I don't fool with it. And so I like to tell my customers it's like having an Italian beef without the guilt.
Okay.
Then we have our blissful hummus, which is our beet hummus. We have a roasted red pepper. We have a sweet potato hummus. We have a black eyed pea hummus. We have our black bean hummus. We have a sun-dried tomato hummus. We have a flavor called hummus and greens. And I know there are some that I'm missing, but I'm always trying to figure out a different way to offer a new experience with the hummus, right? I want it to be tasty. I want it to be delicious. I don't want you to even think about the fact that it's plant-based. Like, that's not important. What's important is that it tastes good. And then I'm going to slide in with and this doesn't have any meat or dairy. Like nothing. So the hummus and greens, I make it with wild mushrooms and sun-dried tomatoes. So by the time I get through mixing that up and putting it in there, they're like, what's in these greens? Not meat. But they don't know because it just tastes good. And that's the important part.
That's great. That's great. So that's about, you said 9 or 10 flavors. Oh my God, that's a lot of hummus. But like I said,
not all at the same time. Some are seasonal, so they transition in, transition out.
So I'm gonna let the hummus queen talk to the real hummus queen.
Come on, curly vegan.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
I'm a little late. I apologize for my tardiness. I was taking care of my 2-year-old grandson, so I'm not sure what all you guys discussed, but I did read about your story. You were in the beauty industry for 20 years in LA, and in 2016, that's when you started. I think you said one late night you tried some hummus and you decided to put some flavors together, and the beauty industry, you still did it for up until like 2021.
I did, and I still get people who like, you still do makeup? I'll be, I pick and choose. Every once in a while, I may take on a client, and it depends on what my bills are looking like, and it depends on who's gonna sit in the chair.
Yeah, yeah, we had that in common. I'm an esthetician and makeup artist as well, and I did that on the side as well. I have a full-time job, but your story is definitely inspirational to people that have a passion to do things. And, sometimes you still got to work that second job or, still have that full time 9 to 5 to make your dreams come true. So I really appreciate that. And I just wanted to give my condolences. I know you lost both your parents
Thank
um,
you.
in 2021, correct?
My dad passed in 2015 December. My mother passed in 2020 December.
Okay, okay. Well, my condolences. My family, we've been going through it as well. Lost my grandmother, grandfather, aunt,
Sorry.
uncle, friend, mother-in-law all last year. So
Oh my God,
all
I'm
in
so
one year,
sorry.
yeah. So I definitely empathize what you're going through. So you said that you had, and you guys may have discussed this, so I do apologize, but a scare with your blood pressure. So that was what prompted you to change your diet.
So actually, I have four amazing friends who were all vegan, and the
Okay.
pandemic hit, and everybody was like, "We just waiting for you to come to the other side." And so once this pandemic hit, and I started hearing things because we didn't know what was happening, but we were hearing these ventilators, we were hearing about mucus, we were hearing about people suffocating,
Yeah.
all this other stuff, and I was like, "All right, well, I guess it's time to join the party,"
Yeah.
And so I did two things. I watched What the Health on Netflix.
Oh, me too.
Watch and I
Yeah.
watch Forks Over Knives.
Yeah. Oh,
I
that's
went
the one I watched. Yes, that's the
I
thing
went to
we
my
were. Yeah.
kitchen.
Yeah.
I cleaned out the cabinets. I cleaned out the fridge. I sent out several text messages. I said, "Hey, this was in LA." I
Yeah.
said, "Hey, y'all, I'm about to give up this meat and this dairy. I got some stuff over here in a bag. If you want it,
Yes.
come and get it. Otherwise, it's going in the garbage."
Yes.
Wait a minute. When is your birthday? Cause y'all got like carbon copy live.
626. I'm a Cancer.
Yeah. I watched Forks Over Knives, and the next day I went cold turkey. But I was already vegetarian for like maybe 10 years, so it wasn't so hard to transition over. But the two things that I struggled with was giving up fish, seafood, and cheese. But I've learned to make good vegan cheese. But that was pretty hard for me. But I did go cold turkey after Forks Over Knives. Did you
Yeah,
find
it
it
is.
hard to transition? Was anything that you miss now in your vegan journey?
Honestly, everything has a sufficient replacement.
Mm-hmm.
And then if the replacement doesn't taste that great, then you just be like, "Well, I done had enough years of that. I done had enough years of that. I'm good." So, it just is what it is.
Yes.
But yeah, it's really not that hard. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that hard. It's just the shift in your mindset.
Yeah.
Once you say, "Okay, enough is enough." And so after that, I went to the doctor like maybe a month after I changed my diet. I went to this doctor and she was hell bent on putting me on high blood pressure medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Because they get kickbacks from drug companies, all of that.
Oh
And
yeah. Yeah.
the money is in us being sick.
Yes.
And unfortunately, she was a doctor that looked just like us. And I was just like, whatever. I was bummed. And
Mm-hmm.
that was for me. I was like, okay, now that I've changed my diet, it is time for me to change my whole life because I was over 100 pounds more than what I am right now. Just, a lot of different things. And I started getting serious about my health,
Mm-hmm.
especially after seeing my mother and her, her health situations, seeing my grandmother and her health situation, things like that. I'm like, okay, certain things run in your family, but it's going to stop running with me.
Yes. Yes. Last week we had a guest on the show, and she mentioned she had asthma, and I think she said after a week of changing her diet to plant based, she didn't have to take any more medication.
That's
So
amazing.
that's something that we definitely need to, tell the black community because we're the ones that suffer the most from a lot of ailments. That you can kick those pills to the side. When you choose a plant based diet.
That's one thing I wanted to chime in and say as well right now to anyone who's looking or looking in on Instagram or YouTube. First of all, if you want to call in, it's 515-599-1687. 515-599-1687. The point I was about to make is, as with your story, your story, as with a lot of different stories that we hear all the time, to people who are, let's say, what we like to call vegan curious. You can't keep hearing the same stories about how it's helping people, reverse health issues and keep eating and living the same way. I mean, if you keep hearing different stories from people who are in St. Louis, Chicago, Detroit, Washington D.C., L.A., it doesn't make a difference where they're coming from. Everybody's saying the same things. I was having health issues. I decided to go plant-based. My health issues went away. I mean, how many different times, different ways you need to hear it? I mean, we're not trying. No, like I said, I had to say to my daughter, no one is preaching. We're just trying to share this experience of, like you were saying, changing generational things that go on in your family, generational health issues. You're changing your own ways of eating within yourself. If it's something that's been going cyclic, stop it. Be the one to stop it in your family, in your life. And that's just great to hear. Once again, someone else making that choice and that decision to say the buck stops here, and at least I'm going to try to make it stop here in my family. You know what I'm saying? Because we have, like you say, within our community, so many people who just look at it like, well, high blood pressure, my aunt had it, my grandmother had it, I'm supposed to have it. No, you're not supposed to have it. You don't have to have it. You don't have to accept those issues, or like you said, like Marchette was saying before, and you said the same exact thing. These hospitals and these doctors are trying to get you hooked on this medication. They need for you to be hooked on the medication so they can get paid.
Yeah.
But as we're all experiencing, and as we know, like the old saying says, all the medicine should be in your cabinet. Point blank. I mean, all the medicine should be in your cabinet.
Yes.
I mean, if you can't find a way to eat something to make you feel better, I just was dealing with this within the last 24 to 36 hours, dealing with an allergic reaction to some chlorine, and but eating that medicine salad made me feel a whole different way. Finally, after getting some rest, but it was better than trying to find some kind of pills to have to take or something like that. Can you speak on just being a minority woman in business? What kind of hurdles did you have to go through? Because one thing that drew me to you, to your approach, with seeing you on Instagram, and like you said, the way that you have conversations with people, you put people at ease, and because it's not like hummus is like an incredibly popular food, but you've found a way to make it popular within your own life, and like you said, just having a way to just put people at calm and at ease. And just like I said, if you could speak towards some of the things that you've been going through in business, as far as what hurdles you may have had to go through, or what's been good or what's been bad.
So honestly, the business aspect of it, one of the things that I live by, I have a background in marketing. That was what my degree was in. I went to Grambling. And one of the things I learned in marketing is that people don't buy from business, they buy from friends. So for me, what makes my job easier is to know I'm not trying to sell you anything. We are having a conversation, and I really am not. For me, I have samples. People are able to taste the product. It's a good product, so they're going to buy the product. The hummus is $13. I'll say 10% of the time, somebody's like, ooh, that's a lot for hummus. I'm like, it's made in small batches. We don't add any preservatives. We use fresh ingredients, and it's tahini free. And it tastes better than any hummus that you're going to buy at the grocery store. So you're not going to compare me with that. Plus, I know everything that's going in my product because I'm the one that's putting it together. So it's made in small batches, and we are a farmers market brand. We are I like to call it designer hummus, because the reality of it is it's not like anything that you're just going to get anywhere. But most of the time, people don't even ask me how much it costs. They pull out their card or how much is it, because when people want something, they want it. When people want to smoke cigarettes could go up to $52 a pack.
Yeah.
And if they want to smoke them squares, they're going to smoke them squares. And if they're going to buy a Lucy off the corner and they got to pay $10 for one cigarette, they're going to buy it because people want what they want.
Mm-hmm.
People will not pay their whole rent and go get a Gucci belt. Sis, where you wearing a belt to? Do you even go places where Gucci belts are appropriate? I'm like, why must you have this? And it's not even my business as to why, but I'm just like, sometimes you'll have people who approach you and look at you with whatever it is that you have, and everything is not for everybody. There are people who go to Walmart and buy a purse. There are people who go to the Louis Vuitton store and buy a purse. The choice is yours. Nobody's holding you hostage. Nobody's holding a gun to your head. I know how much things cost. I know that between the time I started fully operating this company back in 2021, 2022, a 3 liter of olive oil at Sam's Club was $23.99. A 3 liter of olive oil is now $30.
Yes.
So for me to not keep incrementally going up on my price, I set it at a standard price. It is what it is, and it's a quality product. And most of the people who come to my table from every walk of life, even my Middle Eastern brothers and sisters, they be looking at me with a side eye, and then they taste it. They be like, okay, all right, that's bomb. And I'm like, thank you. Like, it's not a competition here, because for me, what I found in doing my research is that the oldest known recipe for hummus came from where? Ancient Egypt. So with that being said, like, we have a legacy of doing a lot of different things. And even though certain things are associated with one culture, when you start doing your research, you may find out that it's something different. And there are a lot of things that have been, what's the word that people use now when different cultures are taking over something that's traditionally another culture?
Culture vulture. Culture vulture.
Absolutely. This is an open market. Everybody has an opportunity to do everything, and people can put their brand on it. Just like there's a lane for white rappers. There's a lane for a Black woman that makes hummus. And for me, it makes it even sweeter because people see me, they see hummus, they love the name, they love the logo, and they're like, well, I'm curious, let me try this. Or when they see the sign, well, you know, your hummus doesn't have tahini in it. Then what do you use? Chickpeas. I don't have to put tahini in it. Sesame is now one of the big 9 allergens. And for me, I don't like the flavor of tahini and hummus because it's overpowering. And then every flavor that you make is going to taste the same. It's going to taste like tahini. So because I have so many different unique flavors, I omit the tahini. Now you can taste all the fresh garlic. You can taste the pure olive oil. You can taste the lemon juice that we're squeezing my hand. You know, you're tasting everything that's in there and all of the seasonings that we use because it's not overpowered with tahini. So, you know, every once in a while we'll get people who will try to question, like, you know, I had one man come to me and say, well, you know, your hummus is a little expensive. I said, it is. And, you know, you smile because whatever. And he was, you know, this. And I was just like, okay. And so, and he's like, yeah, and you know, it's a little pricey. And you use a lot of garlic. I was like, I do. And he was like, yeah, you know, I just think, you know, maybe if you could take a little garlic out and, lower your price. And I was like, yeah, that's something to think about. As he reached in his pocket and paid for his hummus. So what was the point of this conversation, sir? Right. And I want you to take your package and I want you to have a great day. And maybe you don't feel like what I do is worth it because of whatever your outlook is on me as a minority woman in business. If Paris Hilton came out with a hummus company and it was $13 for 6 ounces, people will be running to the store to buy it. You don't tell me my worth. Yeah, I know what I charge for my product. I know why I charge it. I'm bringing people up. Again, they will pay $1 million for a pack of cigarettes if that's what they wanted. People pay for what they want, and if they don't. So every once in a while, you will get people who will try to make you question your value. And at the end of the day, everything is not for everybody. Right. Y'all will pay for a steak. You will pay $60, $70, $80 for a steak meal. Right. Something that a lot of people may agree that could add to your demise. Of course. I'm trying to give you something that is amazing and health-filled and delicious. And then you want to go back and forth with me, and I don't go back and forth with people. You either want it or you don't. And so those are the kinds of things that I come against. And I give everybody a good old-fashioned smile. And then when you say something crazy, I'm just going to sit there and smile at you at my table and then wait for you to walk away. All right. I don't have to.
Yeah. Yes. Now, before we go any further, I'm glad that you said that. Before we go any further, we want to say hello to our in-studio guest. This is Kiara.
Hey, Kiara.
From Key Bees Uniques.
Shalom, peace, love, light, and healing.
I'm glad you got a chance to come in on that part when she was just speaking, just because some of the things that you had said before about how you weren't really ready yet to bring your food out to the public, but hearing her words, hopefully that will inspire you a little more. Cause that's really kind of why I did want you to get a chance to speak with her while she was online. I know we were talking about what time you wanted to get in and all of that, but I'm sorry about whatever you had going on too as well. But
Thank you.
thank you for coming. And we met her at St. Louis Vegan Market in July, and she does. Tell the people what you do. I'm sorry.
I am so nervous. I'll be honest.
It's fine.
But
You can relax. You're amongst family.
I'm
Right.
so blessed to be here, and I know this is such an honor. Everything I've prayed for, and also been seeking, and that's a team, because it's not easy. Just growing up with what you've been used to and raised into. So, yeah, I started my journey off experience. And that's the only way I could really explain my business as well as myself is by experience. And I'm on a natural journey right now, natural healing, inside and out. I started with body care because I'm new to the entrepreneurship as well, learning as I go. But I'm excited and I'm here to stay.
How long have you been in business per se?
I stepped out when my dad passed in 2020.
2020.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I started with the body care stuff, like natural body butters, as well as I guess what I would call it holistic healing is what I'm learning. I'm learning, like I said, as I'm going, but because it was a really horrible experience growing up with just horrible menstrual issues. Horrible menstrual issues. So I started with myself with herbs,
Okay.
And so my biggest thing is I'm a mom of 5, and so I'm a busy bee. That's where the name Naturally Key Bee comes from, because I'm naturally busy. And then I started with the body care because I learned that what we're putting on our skin is just is as
As important.
important as what we're putting into our skin.
Yes.
And yeah, so I started with stop eating pork first. And then I learned that a lot of products that we're using has animal in it.
A lot.
A lot.
Yes.
Toothpaste,
Yes.
soap,
Yes.
lotion.
Yes.
I'm like, are you serious? How can we get away from it?
Shampoo.
Shampoo. That
Yes.
killed me
Yes.
there. That killed
Yes.
me. And so I've always loved to cook and things. And once I started my journey with the body care stuff, I'm like, no, everything starts within first. I got to stop this meat, do my research, and get busy. And that's what I did. So I'm here, and I'm here to stay, but I really want to bring out my food, the food, because everything starts within.
Is there anything that you want to specialize in, or?
Plant-based,
I mean, no. I understand that.
meaning like,
Your
well,
menu.
Cause like our girl here from Homegirls Hummus, she found a lane that no one was in,
right.
and that would you say that would be part of the key, or is it more like that plus your? I always look at it like that plus the product, the quality of your product, but I'm more towards trying to find a lane that nobody is in.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if you can.
And that's the thing, once I really did step out, like everyone's doing the same things, But we're all different. So, like she said before, it's enough for all of us. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing really in particular, mainly just health-wise,
I got it.
our health.
Gotcha.
It's just holistic. And when I cook, I make sure that I'm incorporating holistic ingredients that's going to help with the whole oral body,
What would you say would be your favorite dish to make, or your best received dish from others? Like, hey, Key, we want you to make this.
Thus far, because it's really hard trying to get my family.
Because I saw the
trans
kebabs.
Yeah. So my children, per se, um, they love it. They actually adapted to the change very well. So I'm very thankful
Yes,
for that.
children are adaptable for
To
sure.
have
Yeah.
four sons at that, you know. So
What's their ages?
they're older now, but 23, 22, 21, and 20.
Okay.
I have stair steps.
Hmm.
And my daughter's the youngest. But for the most part, we're all veggie lovers, except for one. But he's transitioned a lot,
Hmm.
where he'll eat green beans. But for the most part, what people like most that I've done, I would say spinach lasagna.
Mm.
Mm.
And then I also make mashed potatoes with mushrooms in them,
Hmm.
and that's really good too. I don't know. I just try and make up. I just be making up anything, you know, as long as it ain't no meat in it.
You're right.
I'm finna try
Experimenting.
something.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. A lot of trial and error,
That's what makes good meals. Experimenting. Yes.
experimenting, and learning as I
Hmm.
go. And I'm
Mm.
so thankful though. And I use herbs in every dish.
Okay.
Herbs are so powerful.
Hmm.
They're still valid.
Hmm.
They still work.
Yes.
And you know, the main thing that stuck out to me coming into this journey, and it's what the Most High said: "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food."
We were
There you
just talking
go.
about that.
So,
We was just talking about
Yes.
that. That is so clear. That's so true. That is so true. And I'm glad you made those points. And just as far as what we were discussing before you got here, just how we keep hearing, not like I said, not the same stories per se, but different people who have gone through some of the same issues, and it's just all linked up. And you find ways to medicate yourself through your food. You know, as far as having a plant-based diet or just eating plant-based, and then just like I said, I really want to taste this hummus.
me too.
But
We got to
some,
send you guys some.
somebody at this table won't let me buy nobody else hummus, but I ain't gonna say who.
That's
We
not.
got to send you guys
That's
some. I
not
want to
true.
come to St. Louis and do a pop up. There's a guy out there. You guys are familiar with Kababi?
Kababi, yeah.
Mhm. He's an artist. Yeah, he went to Grambling with me, and we had talked about me coming out there and us doing a collaborative event together. So that's something I'm still looking into. I would love to come out there for a weekend and do a pop up. But I can definitely get you guys some hummus in the mail.
Now, were you at Vegandale? Because we actually came to Vegandale, Chicago.
I was there. Yes.
Oh, we
Oh,
missed you.
yeah, yeah. That was nah. That was. It was hot, but it was fun. It was a lot. That was like we had just heard about it, and we got a chance to go. It was a lot of fun. We actually were there for both days, but since the concert started late, we left because we had to get back on the road, and kind of glad we did leave.
I'm glad. I'm glad that you guys did as well. There was a lot of things happening.
Yes.
So
Yeah, yeah, that was
God
wild.
bless Vegandale. R.I.P. to me being at Vegandale anymore. But
Oh, you want? Yeah. That's it. You're not doing it anymore.
the last 2 years I've said it may not be the right venue for me. I know that a lot of people who come, like most people who come to Vegandale are not vegan, but they're coming because it's a festival and then they're vegan curious.
Hmm.
Well, when you're vegan curious, a lot of people are not looking for things like hummus. You know, the
Hmm.
first year I did amazing. Let me be honest with you. First year I did amazing. But as the crowd started to shift and people were coming for different reasons and coming for the concerts and things like that, that's not necessarily my audience. So,
Right.
progressively it kind of tapered off and it's just not for me. People are looking for the vegan burgers. They're looking for the fries. They're looking for the fake
Mm-hmm.
wings or the deep fried things like that. They're looking for festival food, which is great.
Hmm.
I do really well at farmers markets. I know that that's my lane. I do well at other, kind of smaller venues. So, and I do some meal options with my product as well. Like I'll make bowls. I've been doing some very interesting things with hummus. So, I got to know my lane and stick to it. Everything is not for everybody, and I have to realize that, and I'm okay with it. That is just not. That's not my audience.
Now, one thing I did want to ask, who did that logo? 'Cause that logo is nice.
Let me tell you, the person who did my logo was in Paris, France in 2016, and I got it done on Fiverr.
Oh wow.
I
Okay.
sent them a picture. I told them what I did and what I wanted it to look like. And I sent them a picture of me. I had gone to a Beyonce concert. I had on these glasses. I had my hair a certain way. I said, can you take this picture and morph this into a logo of me? And he did such an amazing job.
Oh, that's
Nice.
nice. That's nice. How long did it take?
Beautiful.
I don't know, probably less than a week. I probably got that back in like 3 days. After he sent me one version of it, I was like, can you change this and that? And then he changed it, sent it back, and I said, this is what I wanted. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, you can go and send his info too, cause we need
Right.
we gotta get a logo done.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's still on Fiverr, but I'll look for him. I will look for him and see.
That's nice.
And he was amazing.
Can you tell us about your merchandise? I know you sell T-shirts and hopefully the earrings, but what other merchandise do you offer?
So we do sell the earrings. We do have the T-shirts. We do have some sweatshirts. We have some camouflage hats that say "Hum Girls Hummus" in gold thread. We have some aprons.
Nice.
And I know we're doing a couple of larger events within the next couple months. So we'll be pulling our merchandise back out of storage. Like for a regular day at the farmer's market, that could be a little bit challenging, pulling all those things out and setting it up. So we choose to do those at events where we think it will make more sense. But we also have some things that are drop shipped. So if you go on the website, you can get the Homegirls Hummus sneakers. They are Converse style sneakers that have the logo on the side. We got some leggings, we got some T-shirts and tank tops and things like that. So it's really nice and a lot of fun. Like I like branded stuff. I like wearing branded items, especially when there's a company that I rock with. And because so many people like the logo, we just chose to make sure that we were able to offer that, with those items with the logo on it.
Now, the farmer's market, how many days a week are you there?
So we do a market on Tuesdays, we do a market on Wednesdays, we do a market on Thursdays, two actually on Thursdays, two kind of on Sundays, two on Saturdays. So we are pretty busy. And some weeks are like, some markets are every other week. Some markets are, it just depends. As we start our season and we look at how business is operating, and because I actually have to pay somebody to go do a market when I'm not there. So if it's not a market that makes sense for me to be there every week, so we got to give people an opportunity to miss us. Or if the market is not being marketed properly and the crowd is not there, if the people are there, we're going to sell. That's never a question. But if there are not a lot of people, and then one thing I learned this year was doing certain markets, I can't do a market that's not at least 5 years old. You need to have been in business for 5 years and have a following and have an audience that's going to come on a regular basis. Because if you have people coming, then I know that we'll be okay with selling. But if it's not a market that's very well attended, then it's just kind of a waste of money for us or for me to have somebody to go and sit there. And because I have a perishable product, we make a certain amount, a couple days a week we're in production. And so we cannot afford to just sit on products.
That's great. Now, I'm glad that you said that. Speaking on what she just said, have you ran into that issue like at, let's just say St. Louis Vegan Market where we met at, where you have people who are there for just trying to looking for food? Because we didn't, like when I bumped into you, we were just really, we were just trying to get some food. We didn't even know there were going to be like other stands per se like that. And we were trying to get footage, and then like that. That's how everything came about. But do you run into that issue where it seems like people aren't trying to, you know what I'm saying, see my product? They're just here to see food, or
Yes, I did, and that's kind of why I didn't attend the one yesterday. The vegan market yesterday, because I don't have food, and I know that's really what they're there for. So, yeah.
now do you find yourself trying to find more, excuse me, pop-ups or anything like that may be scheduled or going on so you can have your
Definitely.
Oh, so now is some of what she said, is that beneficial? Like, if it hasn't been in business that long, I don't want to, because that's kind of
that makes a lot of sense. Because I've actually did a few vending spots where you have to pay, and not familiar with the place and the crowd and things. Yeah, you can waste your money.
And people are charging a lot. They're charging a lot. This pop-up thing, I've had people who are like, oh, it's just $150. For the two people that you got in there, get out of here. You're not even doing the background work to market this, but you want to charge somebody premium prices. And I got to bring my chair, and I got to bring my table, and I got to pay for parking. And then there's nobody to help me with my things to come in and out of your venue. It's not easy to get into, and you want to charge all this money. You're exploiting people, and that's not okay.
Yeah, we don't like that. We don't like that at all. Now, this is tequila and tofu. So we normally try to have a weekly drink if we can. So we're gonna let.
I feel guilty sitting next to her making a drink.
No,
she's so natural. Like I feel bad now. I don't want to make a drink.
No, we're gonna have her highlight her drink of the week this week because she's the tequila expert as well.
Right.
All right.
Hummus and tequila. That's her.
I always have this disclaimer. Okay, drink in moderation.
Right.
Don't abuse liquor, okay? It's okay to drink every once in a while. So today is going to be a pomegranate margarita. I haven't made it yet, but I'm using 100% pomegranate juice and Casamigos tequila, reposado.
It's going to be a wild afternoon.
And orange cognac, liqueur. All right, Grand Marnier. And a little splash of lime juice, and then I have fresh fruit to top it off. So I'm gonna start making that drink. I'm not sure you're gonna drink one, but
I'll take it.
Oh, I didn't want to give you any peer pressure, but that's okay. So I'll start making a drink now. But that's the pomegranate margarita.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Let me go get a glass of something. Okay.
I'll ship
I would
you
like to
one.
partake in something.
Look, I'll ship you one, okay?
Girl, please, honey. That sounds so good. I was like,
dry ice.
I want all of that.
I love pomegranate.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, one thing I did want to touch on it as well, because I heard you say both of you guys said the same thing as far as making sure that you do your research. You know what I'm saying? Which is what's very key to a lot of things. So you gonna go ahead and make that drink?
Oh, I'm
we're
sorry.
we're trying to get drunk.
I'm sorry.
What you doing? Tequila and tofu. No, but like I was just saying though, speak on how important it is to make sure that you have your research done and down, I should say.
So in terms of research, are you talking about research for your business and your
product,
business formation?
Product, information, just anything.
Okay. So one of the things you want to be able to make sure that with your name, that nobody else has your name. You want to make sure that you go through all the channels to get your business entity set up and ready to go. If you decide that you're going to be a consumer packaged good product, which is what I am, you want to have your logo. You want to make sure that it is distinct to you. You want to make sure that your name is distinct to you. You want to make sure that you form an entity, whether that's an LLC, whether you are incorporated, things like that. You want to get your business license. You want to partner with organizations that are really helping entrepreneurs to get to where they need to be, because they will walk you through all the steps. I've gone through a couple of organizations that have helped me in terms of educating me on the things that I need to do, because there's so much that you don't know. And a lot of times you don't know what you don't know, right? And so for that reason, you can miss some steps. So you want to make sure that you have wise counsel around you, people who you can ask questions to, partnering with other people who are in business, who don't mind sharing information. I know that sometimes in our culture, we can kind of keep secrets. Yeah. We don't want to share information because we feel like, oh, well, I had to go through it. You'll figure it out. It's like, no, if I had to go through it, then that means that you should not have to go through it, because let me walk you through this. One, I can help you with one thing. You can help me with something else. And so we have to be more willing to share information with each other. And the more that you elevate yourself in your circles that you're going into, you will find people. And honestly, there are going to be a lot of people who you meet that do not look like you, who will be more than happy to share information with you. You get it from where it comes from, and you move forward like that. In terms of my business and things like that, I spend a lot of time, researching different recipes, different things that people are doing. Like at one time I wanted to do an ube hummus, and I probably will go back to that, which is that purple sweet potato. But after doing my research, I was like, I don't know about this. After playing around with some things, I'm like, I may pivot from this and come back to it. You always want to elevate and offer something new because people like to know what's happening. What do you have that's new? If they've tried everything that you got, like, what are you doing different? And so people always want to know those things. And so research is very important. Spend a lot of time on Pinterest. Google is your best friend. My one of my besties, I call him Albert Ignatius. Honey, AI is the thing, and we cannot be afraid of it because it ain't going nowhere,
Yeah.
and people are using it. So use it to your advantage. But there's a way that it has to be used. And for me, I know some things, but I don't know everything. Udemy is an amazing resource. It's an online learning platform. There are a lot of people who are specialists in different things, and you can get on there, take classes and learn. They're always running a sale. You can get a class anywhere from $10 to $25. I typically don't see classes that are more than that. Every once in a while, you'll see a $50 class. But if you want to learn more about social media, marketing your business, using AI, how to photograph your product in a certain way, there is a way to find out any information that you want that doesn't have to cost a lot of money. So you just have to be open and willing to sit down, take the time, and do the research.
Right.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. For anyone watching, whether you're going into business or anything in life, if you can't use the words that she just spoke to help you out, something's wrong with you, because those words are very prophetic. Because that's one thing that we've noticed on our journey as the road tripping vegans. You're gonna come across people from all different walks of life. Black, white, it doesn't make a difference. When it's plant based, just you can get help from so many different places.
Right.
And like you said, the sharing of information, that's what you should want to do. Like-minded individuals or spirits should be coming together. That's what I try to do. That's what gravitates me towards different people. By the way, this drink is very stiff and good.
Let me go get my glass of wine. Hold on.
It is really good.
No, but also,
I didn't give her a lot, y'all, because I had a feeling she doesn't drink, so
I don't.
I gave her just a
we,
splash
we,
of tequila.
we still will. We will be doing
But it's good though.
Thank you.
today is a wrap-up show for our other guest who's on the way from St. Louis Vegan Market. They are running late. They say they're going to be here in about 15, 20 more minutes. But we were actually in the discussions with them over a few days, and I didn't know if they were going to be able to make it today because simply, it all wrapped up yesterday. So, with that being said, though, what would you say? That's one thing I did want to let you know as well. Something that just like y'all got something in common. Y'all got something in common too. She loves butterflies, just like you love butterflies.
Nice.
I love nature.
When is your birthday?
May.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would be your top selling item from just like your this would it mainly like jewelry or sex accessories per se?
I actually make body butters. I make hair oil, therapeutic oils for like pain per se, menstrual issues for women. I would say my hair oil and the butters, because I do hair too.
Okay.
I do a lot.
That's right. I did. Yeah, she did. She had some little.
Beautiful head of her. Yeah.
Thank you. I do a lot. So.
Now, have you been natural with your hair? Have you been natural all your life, or did you transition
I
from
transitioned
relaxers?
from relaxers, and it was a horrible experience. And as soon as I did, I told my mama, "You shouldn't have never put that stuff in my head."
Yeah, that's something else we need to educate the Black community about. Is the relaxers. It's not good for you.
It's so dangerous.
Yeah.
Shout out to your mom too, because we met her mother the night that we met her. Her mom was with her at her table.
Oh.
And that's how you know the Most High is so real and amazing, because when I came into this, I would call it consciousness.
Good word.
Because, people throwing out a lot of different words. But
Yeah.
no, we're going to use consciousness.
Yes.
When I came into this, I tried explaining and just sharing this knowledge And you know I was rejected, blown, like, I ain't finna stop that. I
Yeah.
thank him so much today. He amazes me, and prayer changes all things. Not everything, but all things.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm thankful. My mom, she stopped eating pork.
Good.
She stopped them shrimps and them crab legs. I was just so thankful. I couldn't believe it because just how my mom is, you know, and
Now,
how I was raised.
was
and
she going
stuff.
through any health issues?
No, she wasn't. The thing was, I was,
Okay.
you know, and she has been recently or whatever, but before when I came into it, no, it wasn't really about the health. It was just me learning, seeking and learning.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be about the health either, because sometimes people have underlying health issues they're not even aware about.
And yeah,
And sometimes it doesn't surface until later in life.
And that's
So,
what
you
it
know,
was.
you're steadily abusing your body over the years.
Mhm.
And then one day you wake up and sometimes it can be reversible, but sometimes it's not. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
because you can wait too late.
exactly.
So I'm very thankful. And then also, my dad, he raised us up not eating a lot of things as well. So it was kind of a struggle growing up. My mom let us do this, my dad didn't let us do that. But once I got older and did my own research and realized a lot, I'm like, you know what, Mom? Dad was right.
Yeah, yeah,
Dad was right.
yeah.
But even with that, because he didn't eat pork, but he was eating meat, and he was eating a lot of beef. You know, the beef stew meat. He loved his pinto beans and beef stew meat. And so my dad was an elder when I was born. He's 30 years older than my mom. So he was already up in age when I was born. And just recently, when he passed in 2020, he was diagnosed with colon cancer. Now me thinking like, man, my dad didn't eat this and that, and you know, I thought he was pretty healthy and you know very strict on his diet, but come to find out, you know, he wasn't,
Yeah.
and he was just eating beef.
Which is animal product.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
And so I was just learning about herbs and the no meat stuff. I was just starting my research. I had came across this guy named a brother. I like to address you all, brothers and sisters. A brother, a Yaki Awakening. And he enlightened me on so many things concerning us eating meat and its animal products. And so, yeah, when my dad was diagnosed with the cancer or whatever, he was at his last stage, literally, to where there was nothing they could do, nothing to reverse it or anything. So, me, knowing my dad, he was, you know, up in age, he was 88. And, you know, that age, they're stuck in their ways. They ain't trying to hear this and do that. So, I went into the prayer.
Yeah.
Father, please let my dad come to my house so that I can care for him in his last days.
Oh, wow.
To make it a lot easier for him, less pain for him. And I was granted to do that. And it was an amazing experience. And that's how I know that eating meat is detrimental to us.
Like they say, look at God.
Because I watched my dad literally from like a vegetable. He was very weak when he came to my home. He was not having bowel movements regularly. And that's what people better pay attention to.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
If you're not pooping every day after them
Something's
meals,
wrong.
oh, you really need to check your diet.
Before we go any further, we got a friend on Instagram. It's TD Hall 65. She says she wants to know if you have a salon. If not, she says she has alopecia. And do you have an Instagram account?
Oh, I do. I don't have a salon. I'm still in the kitchen. But I do hair in my house. I I have
So
Instagram.
hopefully y'all can get together on Instagram some
Yeah,
kind of
I
way.
have Instagram. It's naturally Kibi7. It's my Instagram.
Say that one more time.
How you spell kiwi?
Naturally Kibi7. Keebee.
Okay.
That's my Instagram.
The number 7, right?
Yes.
Not 7 spelled out. Okay.
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
The number 7.
We just want to make sure
Now,
she gets to
if she
you.
don't hear this on Instagram, she can look at the rebroadcast on YouTube later. But that's another reason why I'm glad you came by as well, because that's what we're about as far as sharing information, learning information, and trying to just link people up. That's part of the reason that we have redblackandvegan.com, trying to make sure that we have this app for our directory that we're trying to have just for all plant-based businesses.
Because where I'm getting at as of taking care of my dad, you know, I learned that what we're eating is either giving us life or it's killing us. I watched my dad literally build back up. He was at my house for like a month. It was new for all of us. You know, I'm a mom of 5. My children, you know, at that age, they were all teenagers and, you know, rowdy and up and down and whatever. But my dad was used to living alone and stuff. So once I did build him up to where he was able to function on his own and go back home if he wanted to, and he did, which broke my heart. I wrote that down and everything. I actually kept a journal of the whole experience.
That's nice.
And the day he left, I put a sad face and everything. I was just so sad because I enjoyed what I was doing, and I know it was helping him. And with my family not being on the same page as me, I just knew it was going to just go downhill, and it did. He went back home.
Yeah.
People were taking him fast food,
Oh no.
meat, everything that I had taken away from
that's
him.
terrible.
You know, and
But at least God gave you the chance
oh, he definitely
to experience that with him. You know what I'm
he
saying?
did that for a reason, to glorify him.
Right.
He did that for a reason. And I know it now, right now, to this day. I knew it then, but I didn't right then know that. But once I kept going on my journey and realizing everything, like, he allowed me to do that for a reason. That is a full-blown testimony.
And
Thank
you were
God.
blessed to have that experience.
And my dad came back to my house after he left. He had to get carried in my house.
Wow.
Yeah.
He had high blood pressure. He had a few things going on. And when I did what I did, he went to the doctor. No high blood pressure. Everything was gone. It was cool. Guess what? They called. And that's why I say, I don't know. I don't know if it's safe to say or not, but I don't trust
You can say it.
Yeah.
doctors.
Yeah.
We ain't got
you
no.
can say it.
We not.
trust-
She was just talking
we ain't
about
cool
that
with barns
this
like
earlier.
that.
Yeah.
Industry.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. It's okay to say it.
they called and gonna say my dad had a blood clot somewhere in his body. I'm just like, how? I didn't get it. Because first of all, I also experienced a blood clot in my lungs during a pregnancy. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do anything. Literally. I couldn't do anything. So I'm like, my dad, I'm literally building him up. How do he have a blood clot now?
How long was it of a time period from when he left and when he came back with the health issues?
It wasn't long. About 2-3 weeks.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
my
It was
Goodness.
quick because the doctors end up calling. After he left my house, my mom went and got him, took him there. They giving him some medicine for them blood clots.
Well, there you have it. That medicine.
That's what it was. And I told my mom, I said, Mama, let me tell you something. Don't you know everything I was doing for my dad was to prevent all of these things and to help him? How do he have a blood clot when I've been giving him burdock, dandelion root tea every morning
Speak,
and night.
man.
I said, Mom, that is a natural blood thinner.
Yep.
Right.
And I said, and you cannot give him that and I'm giving him what I'm doing. You can't do both. You can't serve two masters. I don't care what situation it is. Either you believe in him or you believe in them.
Yes.
Right.
So it was just a horrible experience, but I'm thankful for it all, you know. And I will never go back. I ain't going back to them, and I ain't going back to the meat.
Ain't no need. That speaks along the lines of what you was talking about before. I don't want to mess your first name up. Nyla.
Oh, that's pretty.
I don't want to say Miss N.
That's very pretty.
But it's like we were talking about before, as far as, you know, them wanting to put you on that medication and wanting you to depend on that medication, and then we see how detrimental that omnivorous diet is. Like you said, it didn't take long. It didn't take long at all for them effects to come back or take over. And after putting in all that work,
I was so heartbroken, y'all. You don't understand. And I just looked at my dad. I was crying. I said, "Ain't nothing I can do now."
But he know you tried.
Yeah,
he does. He knows that.
Yeah, that's it. He got a chance to experience, you know,
Guess
all
what
of
he
that.
said though to my siblings, because a lot of people were against what I was doing. Because I was literally having him fasting too, and I'm gonna say unspiritual people, if that's a word, or those who are not even thinking spiritually. You just can't communicate with them. It's just, it goes nowhere. So it was horrible.
I love that. Yes, that's so true.
I was doing everything that I knew was right and what the Father was telling me to do, but they were just so against me.
But that's what, like they say, you know, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make him drink. That's like what we was talking about before. As far as just like getting the message out, that's all you like she said, she found out what her purpose was. That's our purpose. You put the information out there now. If you want to go on continue to killing yourself, that's on you. But I gotta let you know, you know, what I'm going through, the happiness that I'm feeling and experiencing and living, because I want you to experience that.
Yep.
Now, if you don't take that and do what you should do with it, there's nothing you can do about it. But you know, you still want to at least give them that choice or that opportunity.
Tools and the resources.
Right.
My whole thing is I can't keep quiet. So
and you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
It's not a bad thing.
Like, I have to say something. Like, I have to.
That's fine. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Because I feel like if I don't, then I don't really care about you, right?
That's true.
That's how I raised my children, because I don't know, once you grow up and you reflect on your life and things, you know, when you learn better, you do better.
When you know better, you do better. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. When you know better, you do better. So, yeah, I was a total different parent. You hear me? And I told my children, if I didn't tell you these things, I don't love you. I don't care for you.
That's true.
That's true. Now, Nyla, do you have any children?
I do not have any children. Homegirl Thomas is my child. That's my only child.
Well, you should be very proud of your child.
She's doing some things, you know, and I'm very grateful for the gift that I've been given to be able to give this product to our community and other communities. Anybody who's seeking a healthier alternative to snacking. That's always the thing. Like, you know, and my audience varies across cultures, across age groups. But I'm just very grateful because when I came back to live here, when my mother was in her last 3 months and I tried to change her diet, you know, I would make like cauliflower tacos. I would do all the things and she would enjoy the things that I was making for her. And I wanted to do my part to just try to preserve her life a little bit longer. Yeah. To make her journey a little bit better. And I was grateful that I was able to do that. Like, my mom was from the Bahamas, my dad was from Mississippi. So I like to say I'm the product, I'm the product of salt pork and salt water. Yeah. And my daddy did not meet an animal that he could eat that he did not like. So all the things, you know, and you do what you know. And then when you know better, you do better. So there's no there's no shame, there's no chastising, there's no whatever. You did the best that you could do with the knowledge that you've been armed with. And then when you learn better, it's up to you to make those decisions. And you can either take heed or not take heed. We can't make people do anything, but we can love them, period.
Yes.
And if they ask us a question, we can answer it to the best of our ability and our knowledge. And then we got to keep it moving because there's work to be done. Let me work on myself. Let me be the best version of myself so I can inspire you to be better, maybe.
Right.
I love
That's
that
for
you
real.
said that. Yeah.
No, so we lead by example. We don't lead by like chastisement, and it's all good. Like I'm gonna share as much with you as I can, and then after that, like I can only tell you what I know. I can only tell you what I did, and then what you choose to do is up with you. And I'm still gonna love you, and we're gonna go to lunch, and I'm gonna order what I order. You gonna order what you order, and enjoy.
Now, do you find yourself? Do you ever eat anyone else's hummus?
No. I will sample every now and then because I want to know what the kids in the street is doing.
Okay.
But, even like there's a restaurant here that I absolutely love, a Mediterranean vibes, and they had a particular hummus on their menu, and I ordered it because I need to see what y'all doing. I need to see your presentation, and I need to see what it tastes like.
How was it?
Presentation, that's easy. What it tastes like?
So 1 out of 5 plants.
Yeah, we got a rating system where we do 5 plants is the best, and 1 is the worst. So on that 5 plant rating scale, what would you rate their hummus?
I'm gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5. The presentation was immaculate. I was looking for the flavor, and I was like, let me taste it again. Let me taste it one more time.
You got to keep tasting over and over again. It's not going to show up. The flavor's not going to show up.
But I will tell you that culturally we do things differently, and it's okay. Right. You do things your way. We a lot of times culturally we temper what we do based on the audience and what works best for them. I don't do that. I make what I make. Either you like it or you don't like it. I ain't never met a person who was just like, oh my God, this is disgusting. I hate it. 85% of the time you come, you taste, you're buying. And not just one. And not just, not just one flavor. You're going to get a couple because I like when you're like, oh, you made this really hard for me. I love that. I love that for you. Figure it out. Or just get them all. Put them in the freezer for up to 45 days. But they don't typically make it past 3 days in the house. And you got to be so solid on what you offer and what you do. You ain't looking to the left and to the right. This is what I do, and I do well. I can't say about somebody else. And if somebody else got something that's amazing, I'm going to shout them out because I ain't mad. Mm-hmm. But this is what I do, and this is what I do well. And I got my lane, and I'm in it, and I enjoy what it is, and I put love in it, and I do what I do, and everybody does what they do. And I'm going to applaud you if you're doing something well. I like to, tomorrow I have a new segment at 10 a.m. In the 10 o'clock hour on WGN. And so I purchased things from some of my other farmers market friends because I want to be able to use things from local vendors because I want us all to win and to be able to shout out like, oh, I use this cheese from this company. I use this falafel mix from this company. I use this bread from this company or whatever the case may be because I want us all to win. People need to be able to have options that they cannot go in a grocery store. People keep asking, are you in stores? Do you know what I have to do to get in a store? Y'all see what they did to Honey Pot. Right. We be all for you until you do something or we think you do something we don't like. Then we all against you. And we have to learn as a culture, if we want to support you and stand behind you, let's get all the information before we start going on social media and dogging you. So if I get in whatever store, they're going to make me add preservatives because that's just what's required.
You lose your power.
Stores. Yep. Yeah, you got to make a decision what you want. Yeah. You want to take this drive and come to the farmer's market and get me, or do you want me to be in a store? Because you can't have both.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful she said that too because that's the same as my products. There's no preservatives in it, even though it's for our hair. But ain't no preservatives in it, and I don't want any in it.
Exactly.
Natural is best. Fresh is best.
They make you add preservatives because it adds to the shelf life. So
absolutely,
that's why. Yeah.
And I love you said that too because I learned that compromising with things you will lose your power.
You will. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And
now I do have a question really quick before we continue. What is your favorite pairing with hummus? Like some people like pita bread, cucumbers, olives. What's your
That
favorite
was
pairing?
that was gonna be my question too. Crackers, what Triscuit, what?
So when we sell our hummus, we always sell chips. I have a third party company that I use their tortilla chips, and we sell those. And because I just feel like, when you leave me and you get in the car, I don't want you pulling into nobody's fast food establishment. I want you to be able to eat right now. Eat something that's delicious. But my favorite pairing, I'll be honest with you, warm pita bread, put it in the oven on 350. Make sure you brush some olive oil on it, put it in the oven, let it bake up. 10 minutes, bring it out. Hot pita cold hummus. It's the best thing ever. It is heavenly.
I wish we had that right now with this tequila
Wish
and your
Making her
wine.
mouth water.
Yes.
Oh man, that
So,
sounds delicious.
This is Chicago style. It is our #1 seller. It is the roasted garlic hummus with the mild jardinera on top.
Nice.
Okay. This is our black bean hummus called Revolution. The dark chocolatey color. It is delicious.
Ooh.
Some people are like, oh, if you can see it. They're like, is that chocolate hummus? I'm like, no, it's black bean.
Nice.
This is blissful. It is our beet hummus. You see how beautiful it is? It is made with pickled beets. It's really a little sweet and a little smoky. Spinach jalapeno, which is our founding flavor. That is the green one. People call it the guacamole hummus. Whatever you want to call it, just call it soul.
Yeah.
But it's got a little kick to it. It's really nice. And then we also have our Phoenix, which is our roasted red pepper hummus. See how beautiful and vibrant these colors are. So you just imagine adding them to your charcuterie board, and eating your colors.
Yeah.
They're so pretty.
Yeah.
And so people eat with their eyes, and we have to remember that. I run into some people who sell food, and although it may be delicious or although it may be good for you, we don't want it to look like slop.
Right.
So we want to make sure that it is eye-catching and appealing when people are purchasing from us because they do eat with their eyes.
Yeah, we're visual. Yes.
We are very visual.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks again. Now, before we go any further, we're gonna get his phone number out again. 515-599-1687. 515-599-1687. We have one more comment. Your hair looks very healthy, according to
Thank
Beautiful
someone
hair.
looking at it on Instagram. And we have our third and final guest representing St. Louis Vegan Market. And your name is, sir?
Kyle Luzinski.
Kyle Luzinski, representing St. Louis Vegan Market Night. I'm sorry. Let me turn this camera around for Kyle, so that people can see
Hello,
her.
good to see you. So happy to be here. I don't usually get interviewed, but I guess we did something good enough for that to happen.
Yeah, we were.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, we're going to use this last segment here as a wrap up for St. Louis Vegan Market. We understand yesterday was the last one of the season of the year. Now this has been, you guys have it once a month, and this has been going on since the spring.
Yes, since the spring, and it was founded last year.
You can pull it close.
We've been hosting the markets as Project Animal Freedom since April of this year. It was founded April of last year by a wonderful person named Melissa, who is a vibrant entrepreneur in and of herself. We do plan to potentially expand the market and do winter markets, but I'm still looking for a good venue. I also really wanted us to do a Vegtoberfest in October, and I even found some good alcohol vendors that we could have lined up for the event. But due to some circumstances in my family, namely my mom wants to go on a mini vacation and my grandpa is dying, I can't really solidify any plans because it's a lot to entrust someone with something as big as the market because it's a lot of work. Right. Are you sure you want to spend 30, 40 hours working on this? Most people can't.
Yeah.
I understand. Sorry to hear that about your grandfather. How old is he?
He's 78.
78. Now, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Oh, you're a baby.
Just a baby. Just a baby.
We all
Nothing
got
wrong
kids
with
either
it.
older than you or around that age.
We're grandparents. We're grandparents.
No, but as far as St. Louis Vegan Market goes, in your role, do you work alongside Melissa or up under her? How does that work?
I do not work with Melissa, but I greet her with such great enthusiasm every time she comes to the market. Yesterday, she came to the market with her mom and dad and I think a sibling. I didn't want to embarrass her, so I didn't go up to her parents and tell them how amazing she is. I did tell her at the Sun Solar booth how amazing she is. And then as I saw them leaving, I sort of tracked out, went to the side, and then yelled at them from across the street. I haven't even told you how amazing she is, but she's amazing. Thank you so much for coming. So I spared her most of the embarrassment.
Trust me, it wouldn't have been embarrassing. All parents like to know that their children are doing or making a difference, especially when they're grown. It just because it speaks to how you raised your children.
Yeah,
and when someone can let you know that when you're not around or your child is grown and they're behaving a certain way or they make me feel a certain way. To a parent, all that is just validation for everything that we've ever done for that said child.
Okay, then I need to wait for my next opportunity.
Now, have you been with St. Louis Vegan Market from the start?
I've been vending at St. Louis Vegan Market, or rather our organization has been vending with St. Louis Vegan Market since the very start. And I had been wanting to collaborate on it for the longest time. And then toward the end of last year, all of a sudden, Melissa approached us and asked us if we would like to run the market because she had some other entrepreneurial ventures that she wanted to focus on. She wants to start a coffee truck, and she also had an idea for a thrift store. I haven't heard much about the thrift shop, but I do know she's still working on the coffee truck.
Okay. Now, do you know, like, I know I saw like a long list of vendors. About how many vendors? Of 100, 150, or?
Give us another year or two and we'll be there.
Now, are you guys affiliated with St. Louis Veg Fest that's coming up?
No, we are not. They're a similar event. The main difference is that our event, by and large, takes place every month, but otherwise they're very similar. Except Veg Fest is even more extravagant because it's just once a year and they put in a ton of resources to make that event as exciting and as appealing as possible. But yeah, we try to do it every month.
Now, our first time coming was in July. And if you can remember, it was incredibly hot that night. But what would you say would be your best time? Now, how many did you guys have last year in 2023?
Oh, yes. I just checked this little report that I wrote for our top supporters. And we started this year with 29 vendors and about 500 attendees. Melissa started with about 20 vendors last April and several hundred attendees, probably about 500 as well. But every single market since the beginning of the year has grown except our last market, and we think the last market was smaller in large part because it was on the same day as Taste of Black St. Louis, which was definitely a major conflict for a lot of our vendors.
Was that August or yesterday?
Oh, yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. I didn't know Taste of Black St. Louis was going on.
Really? Me either.
Okay.
Oh, we missed that.
No.
Now, do you guys typically? Because I know I noticed it didn't seem like you guys had a whole lot of different food vendors, or do you have any people that come in from out of town, like Homegirl's Hummus here? She's from Chicago, by the way. Do you guys have anybody that comes in from out of town?
Chicago people are the best people. Please come to our market next year. You will be loved. There's this place here in St. Louis, I believe, that's called Milk and Hummus, but they haven't come to any of our events for a long time. So you can be the sole hummus provider to a market that has hundreds and hundreds of vegans. I mean, was it the August market you mentioned?
We went to July and August.
The July and August market. Both of those markets attracted nearly 1,000 people. So that's 1,000 vegans. That's 1,000 willing customers. Please bring your hummus.
I'm coming. I'm getting my brand new vehicle on the road, and I'm coming. Don't worry. When does it start next season? I'm coming.
Oh, okay, then. I'm glad
Absolutely.
we link up.
We'll definitely start up by next April, but we'll probably have some winter markets between now and then, starting in November. I just haven't found a good venue yet. And I'll also mention that we do have some other Chicago peeps who've come, and Vision Positive has come once, and Cheese and Thank You.
I love her.
Oh, yes, I think she's Iris. I love Iris as well. And she has such great products, too. My mom was asking me this weekend, where's that one booth with all the decals and stuff with the vegan slogans? And I'm like, unfortunately, she lives in Chicago and can't make it all the time. But Cheese and Thank You, she's made most of our markets this year.
I love Megan. Love her.
Okay, that's great. I'm looking at God. Wow. But that's a small world. Small world. Now she's actually we met her at the July show. She's one of your old vendors, but she wasn't at.
Hi. It was really cool. My first time, but I enjoyed it.
Now, do you find yourself trying different foods while you're there, or what do you do when you're at St. Louis Vegan Market?
Yes. As I become better at organizing and running the market, I have more and more time to actually enjoy the market. And I go around and try as many good desserts and as many good entrees as I possibly can. This time around, I was most excited for Senny's Sweet Cakes. They make Eastern European sweets. And they also made some savory dishes as well. For example, I got this potato wrapped in phyllo dough. It was so good. It's food that we've never had before. We've never really had Eastern European food at one of our markets. And these are people from Bulgaria, so they know how to make Eastern European food. And they even made this very delicate food called pavlova. It tasted amazing, but I still think they need to perfect their recipe because it was a little too delicate. The base would just crumple. You would touch it and it would completely crumple.
Very delicate.
But no, it tasted amazing. It was a mango pavlova, and the mango paste was just amazing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I try to get a little of everything, and I get a lot of drinks too. My favorite drink vendors are the Community Parlor, and then Paradise Coconut Drinks. I really want to try their chocolate coconut drink, though. They sell those at the Tower Grove Farmers Market, but they haven't brought any to ours yet.
Do you know when the Tower Grove Farmers Market is going to be?
Yes, I believe it's every Saturday from about 8 to noon.
8 to noon. Now, have you been at Tower Grove Farmers Market, or do you know about that? I'm glad we got a chance to get that info out.
Every Saturday?
Well, until October or early November, I think.
I do live in that area, and I was wondering, how do you go about getting space up there, vending spots?
Absolutely, and I actually have a dream for the market. I want to use the same space that they use for Tower Grove Market next year for the vegan market, because 2 Acre Park was a good starting point for us, but it leaves so much to be desired. One example,
No shade.
No shade.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no shade at all.
And then, of course, our giant shade tent broke a few months ago, and nobody wanted to spend the money to get a new one.
Wow. That wasn't smart. That wasn't smart at all. But that's one thing you know going forward, Nyla. It's going to be very warm. Just like now, we don't have the lake to cool us off here, so it's gonna be hot. We just letting you know that when you come here. Have you ever been to St. Louis to do anything?
I have never been to St. Louis. I want to come and see the Arch. I want to meet the St. Lunatics. Here I go. I'm just so sad. I was excited and talking to my classmate about coming there. So if there's an event, it's a short drive. What is it? 5 hours?
It ain't even that. It's like three
Depending on how
hours
fast
and
you drive.
45 minutes.
I drive like an 80-year-old lady.
Okay,
so.
it's going to be 5 hours then for you.
Just come down 57 or 55. It don't make no difference.
Because I-55. I live right off of 55. It says St. Louis. So there we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. See, we gonna hook up.
Or maybe I can come in November. Maybe I can come in studio and we can have a whole hummus tasting situation and have a good time.
Yes,
Invite
Y'all
that sounds
already
me.
heard
great.
it.
Make sure I'm here.
We're gonna invite you too.
Absolutely.
Y'all already heard it there. We got a show coming up. We got a special hummus episode coming up. Hummus and health and beauty coming
All
up.
right.
And
Yo.
we're gonna have some food too. Bring those kebabs. What was on those kebabs anyway?
I use peppers, the colorful peppers, red onions, and mushroom.
Oh, that's what that was. Cause with the barbecue sauce, the plate was looking good.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was though, but it was nice though. It was looking really
I
nice.
do good.
Now, you actually answered my actual next question to you, which was some of your favorite dishes from any one of the markets. What would you say in closing? Because we got to get ready to get out of here pretty soon. What would be the wildest thing that you've seen at any vegan market night?
Oh no, you asked me one of the hard questions.
Do you mean like wild in menu preparation?
It could be anything.
or
they consider
behavior?
wild.
I mean,
hey,
that's a
did you see somebody duck off in the
that's a
back?
loaded
Nah.
question. That's a loaded question.
Did you duck off in the back with somebody?
Right. I'm like,
No. Well, I can give you an example from last night.
Okay.
One of our volunteers was going all around picking up these little pieces of trash that people left behind, because vegan festivals are the cleanliest festivals. People leave behind the least amount of trash, but nonetheless there is still trash that needs to be picked up. And he hopped the fence, which is like six feet plus tall, and the top has some really sharp metal ends of the gating. And he dropped his phone, and we had to look all over for it. And then all of a sudden, my dad stumbled across his phone, and he got his phone. I was worried we would be there all night. I was worried we'd be all there all night, because in the 2 or 3 days before the market, it's pretty much nonstop work on the market.
Okay.
And you have like 12 plus hour days, 3 in a row, and that's actually why I overslept this morning.
That's understandable. Oh, now, yeah, I'm sorry. I did have another question. Let us know about this newsletter that you produce.
Oh, absolutely. So, STL Vegan Market is a project of Project Animal Freedom. And Project Animal Freedom is a 501c3 nonprofit working to build a fully vegan Midwest through a strategic chapter-based system. We have several chapters across the Midwest, and we arrange a host of activities, everything from our Vegan Climate Summit to a worldwide fur protest. This booklet details some of our major accomplishments between the beginning of this year and July, which we have called Animal Freedom Month, with July 4th being Animal Freedom Day, a pretty big holiday to us. We want people to protest animal cruelty on that day, or better yet,
No ribs.
celebrate with
No ribs, no pork steaks,
Right.
no hot dogs.
celebrate with vegan ribs.
Right.
Yeah, eat vegan barbecue. That's why we did our vegan barbecue fest.
Yeah, we missed
It
that.
got postponed, but it was supposed to originally be on July 4th, and that's how we want to celebrate Animal Freedom Day. Whereas to provide an alternative to people where they can go out and enjoy this amazing barbecue, and they have an option, because otherwise it's just a bunch of dead animal barbecues all over,
Of
and you
course.
don't have a choice.
right.
How did that St. Louis vegan barbecue turn out anyway?
It went really well. I think we had about 800 people. We only had 30 to 40 vendors, but that was more than enough. I told the vendors to make extra food. They did. Several sold out. One had technical challenges. Their generator didn't work properly, but they still sold out of several things. So it was a pretty good experience for everyone involved, including the vendors.
That's great. That is great. Everyone sold out?
And I want to give a shout out to Adina's Vegan Cuisine.
Oh,
Adina's
yeah, we
vegan?
love Adina's.
She made the best ribs at the whole event.
Oh, okay. Anything you want to describe about that taste? Smoky, savory?
It was smoky. It wasn't too chewy. It was just chewy enough. The texture was amazing. The barbecue sauce was way better than Sweet Baby Ray's or whatever it's called.
That's it.
The shade.
You better tell all the things you feel.
Full of high fructose corn syrup.
That's my sauce.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be offensive, but
No, you're
she's
fine.
just a very naturally gifted cook, and
Yeah.
whatever she makes up is even better than Sweet Baby Ray's, which is what I use when I can't
Right.
buy stuff from Miss Adina.
Shout out to Adina. As a matter of fact, we need you here because we know you're not open on
Yes.
Sunday. So
Yes, we
anybody
need
that
her
works
here.
at Adina's or Adina, if you're watching, we need you here in the studio
Yes.
and bring some of those fried oyster mushrooms too when you come.
Well, before we close, what if I'm a owner, entrepreneur, and I want to participate next year? Is there a website I need to go to? How do I sign up?
Yes, go to stlveganmarket.com and then go to our vendor application tab and just submit an application. It's really brief, and we'll get back to you within a handful of weeks and let you know whether or not you've been accepted. Hint, almost everyone is accepted. We've received over 150 applications, and there are only 4 to me that they're possibilities, but it seems like they don't really know what vegan is. So I'm like, I don't want to make the effort to try to tell them what vegan is. So
Yeah.
I'm just tossing those 4 out. But the
Okay.
vast majority of people are approved. Just go to stlveganmarket.com.
Thank you so much. Now, before we wrap up, Kiara, you want to let the people know where they can find you at and to find your products?
Yes, I can be found. My website actually is www.keepbeunique.com. And I have an Instagram as well, naturally Kibi7, the number 7. Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's Kibi's unique, Kibi unique,
Kibi Unique.
KibiUnique.com.
Naturally Kibi Unique
Naturally Kibi
is the
Unique.
name of the business, but the website is Kibi Unique.
Okay.
And you do hair as well.
Yes,
And she does hair, for anyone who's watching. And Miss Homegirl's Hummus, Miss Nyla, where can the people find you at?
Yes. I reside on 2020 Instagram Lane. If you want to know anything about me or my business and how we operate, I am on Instagram a lot. I do a lot of lives. We do a lot of videos. It's really, you know that there's hummus there, but I'm selling the community that I've curated. It's about just joy and inspiration. And then you can go to our website at homegirlshummus.com, homegirlshummus.com. Some people say homegirl hummus, which I'm fine with. But when you're spelling out, it's homegirls with an S, hummus.com. And you can see what we offer, and you can order and have it shipped and things like that. So, yeah.
All right. And last but not least, we got the Curly Vegan.
You can find me at Instagram, Curly Vegan. You can also find us, the Road Trippin' Vegans on Instagram, Red, Black, and Vegan on Instagram, the Road Trippin' Vegans on YouTube, and our website, redblackandvegan.com.
And this episode will be available later on YouTube, no later than tomorrow. Check us out on the roadtrippingvegans.com. And we will be coming to any restaurants soon in St. Louis that we haven't been to, some that we already have been to. But definitely be getting on the road soon, checking people out. And thanks to everybody for coming by today. I'm so glad that everybody came by. Trust me, we are greatly
we appreciate
appreciated.
you. Yes.
Anyone helping us out on this journey just to get this plant-based word out is greatly appreciated. We thank you so much for coming by late. It doesn't make a difference. You still are on time with us. Trust me, it is greatly appreciated. Nyla, Kiara, Kyle, thank you so much. You guys are always welcome to come back at any time. Anytime you want to put out a product or just let us know. And you definitely know we will be sharing it. And we already know she coming to St. Louis, and we're gonna have a live episode. So,
Yes.
for anyone looking on Instagram, thank you for coming in today, watching us. And as we all know, we got one thing to ask.
Have you had your plans today?
I hit the wrong button, but
Have you had your plans today?
I'm a loser.
He's been drinking tequila.
Y'all have a good day. Tequila and tofu, we out.
Is the Curly Vegan or Curly Vegan? Oh, I didn't hear you. Say it one more time. The sound is gone. I can't hear you. Hold on. Just DM